20 years ago, our family moved from England to Spain. It was never our plan, although our family gained a new member.
What a gorgeous day.
Bonjour!
Bonjour!
We are in France. Together, we navigate life's challenges. Welcome to my new house. It's awesome.
It's the biggest undertaking I've ever done in my entire life.
Please join us on our adventure in rural France.
13 eggs from our 16 chickens.
As we make a life, not just a living. Welcome to Pickard Home. What we're doing at the shed, Dad?
Well, we've had a bit of a problem. 2 years ago, well, 2 summers ago, no, it's not even 2 years, I put brand new roofing felt on the shed, and literally the sun has eaten it alive. We had a thunderstorm the other day, and the wind picked up. It was 30 degrees, and suddenly the wind picked up and ripped the whole lot off. In fact, it's in tatters.
Is this not the original roofing that was on it?
No, I did this 2 years ago, and the sun literally
has just cooked it.
Just cooked it alive.
Yeah.
So now what we need to do is take the whole lot off and replace it with some galvanised sheet steel.
Yeah, let's do it right.
Yeah, it's 10-year guarantee, so it should last
at least 5.
At least 5.
Right, so first things first, we're going to get the old stuff off.
Yeah, I'll jump up, I'll start tearing the old stuff off,
right,
and then we can, we'll take it from there.
Right.
So as you can see, it's absolutely in tatters. This is actually from the other side.
It's self-removing.
And there's no strength left in it at all.
Bentley, it's your dad.
Bentley.
Is it roof? Is it? I don't like roof falling off either, Bentley. This big piece of wood was a hasty repair in the middle of the storm. I was like, what's heavy?
It's a good piece of wood.
It is a good piece of wood.
Yeah, as you can see, the roofing felt is just, there's absolutely no strength in it at all.
Dad, don't fall through the roof, you'll damage your bike. So what's not falling off? Are you going to keep that on?
No, because if we leave any on, any water that does get in, you know,
yeah, we'll get trapped under it.
We'll get trapped underneath, it'll rot the roof out.
Yeah.
So we need to get everything off, and then we can, yeah, because none of it's good. Yeah, water can pour into there.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm just going to grab a knife, Dad, then I can cut along the edges.
Yeah. Quite disappointing this, because this stuff were really quite expensive.
Like that. It was very expensive.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, like, stuff that would last a really long time in the UK, where it's really wet,
yeah,
just won't hold up to the sun, will it? Here.
comes out very easy, isn't it? That's not good, no?
No, that's why we repair it. That's why we're
That's
taking
why
it
we're
off.
taking it all off.
If it were glued on well, we wouldn't need to replace it.
Yeah, that's right.
Not only that, it shrinks with the heat. So what's a shed roof in the UK that lasts a decade, here is completely stuffed in 2 years.
This bit's actually the best bit on the roof because we've got 2 ash trees directly behind us. It kind of shades it from the sun from the hottest part of the day. So this side isn't as bad as the other side. The other side's completely deteriorated. And the further up the roof you go, the worse it, even on this side, the further up the roof you go, the worse it gets. Yeah, this is just completely shot at. This is super sticky. Whoops.
As an emergency patch, we use some of that butyl rubber that you use on like around a chimney.
Yeah. And that's
So just try and stick it down quickly, because that stuff will even stick in the rain. But it's even more goo to add to the goo. That's what that is.
Yeah, I must admit this emergency patch is the only bit that's stuck. And it really has stuck.
It's like trying to unpeel dynamite from your roof.
Bye-bye, Pickard.
Right, so I've got to go and edit a Project Mosquito video. So if you could just do everything else, there's a good chat. No, I mean,
Sticky fingers.
We have a video due. Do you want to put it in the trailer?
No, not yet. I'll put it here next to the trailer. I'll pop it in after and we can get rid of it.
Well, I tell you what, I'd assume that the steel roof were going to be heavier, but I don't think so.
So as well as our house being completely off grid, we've also got a trusty Diane. She's the car. She's 50 years old and she runs absolutely faultlessly. She costs very little to run and you can buy every single part for the car, so she's infinitely repairable. So which is another bonus, because we don't have to worry about repairing cars and buying new cars, because this one can be completely rebuilt as and when it's necessary. Now then, we might be a little bit short. Okay, so we've cut our roofing sheet in half because we were a little bit short at one end. So we can overlap the two edges, and then we can then bend the edge of the roofing over the side to make a perfect seal so the wind can't get in. But I also need to now, because I've cut it, you've cut through the rust proofing. So now we need to get some spray zinc, and I'm going to go along the edge and just spray zinc on the edge. I'm going to put this cut edge to the inside, so that way it gets weather protection from being underneath the other sheet. I'll leave it on. What I'm going to do now is leave this to dry, and I'm going to put the other 5 sheets on the roof, get them all lined up, and then we know how much overhang we can have on both sides of the roof. We're going to leave this this overhang in situ. What I'll do, I'll fasten where all the joints are here. I'll fasten all these together at this end, all the way along, and then it makes this overhang super rigid, so the wind can't get in and blow it off. But it also gives the side of the shed a little bit more coverage from the rain. Obviously it's going to drip, and it's going to drip quite a long way from the shed. The water's been hitting the ground and hitting, look, because it's gone green at the bottom. So the further we can get this away, it's quite a good height, so it's not going to poke anybody in the... Like, I'm 6'2", so it's a long way away. It's only 25 mil that way. The screws I'm using, I've got obviously really big heads, and I'm using a neoprene washer. Whoops. Using a neoprene washer just to keep them, make them nice and waterproof. So normally you'd only put the screws in here, but because this is, we've got a ridge protector which fits over the top, so I can actually put these screws into along the ridge. And say, because normally you would only put them in on the high points, but because this is protected and it's got a neoprene washer to stop water ingress, and it's under the cover anyway, it should be absolutely fine. It's also important you don't tighten them up too tight, otherwise it spreads the washer out and splits the washer and makes the roof kink. They do actually sell. If you lived in a coastal area or a super windy area, they actually sell little clamps that fit over the top that you can screw down into. But because we live in such a beautiful place and the weather here it's pretty mild all year round. We do get occasional minuses of -14. We get very little snow, and we very rarely get strong winds. I think the maximum wind we've ever had is something like 25 miles an hour, because we're a long way inland, and even when the leaves have gone off the trees, it offers us a massive amount of protection from the prevailing wind, which is normally south-southwest, which is superb for us. The houses and everything are supremely protected. We're near the bottom of the valley. It's quite a shallow valley, and that also works really well for our well. our well water, because we're so at the bottom of the well. Any water that's trapped in the hillside behind us ends up in our well. So a few years ago we had quite a severe drought, and our well was completely fine. It never ran dry at all, you know, and there were hosepipe bans and water shortages everywhere, but we were absolutely fine. So now I've got all the sheets battened down, so they're all in the correct position. I'm going to leave this side now because it's getting incredibly hot. The sun's come out. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun's come out. The other side has a little bit of shade, but this side's now in full sun, and it's literally too hot it's almost too hot to touch, which is why the roofing failed in the first place. So what I'm going to do is start doing the other side now. And then probably in the morning when it's a lot cooler, I'll come back and I'll put all the rest of the screws in this side. But it's in, it's all fastened down, it's not going anywhere. Hot, hot, hot. Oh. What I'll do in the morning is when it's not so hot, I'll come down and put the extra screws in between the ones with the overlaps, you know, the ones where it's double, so they're held on there nice and tight. I don't want to put too many screws in it because every screw hole is a potential leak, but I need enough screws in so even in the worst of windy conditions it can never blow off. So last night we had a bit of a thunderstorm. It didn't rain very much, but it's just enough to freshen everything up. It's really nice this morning. There's a nice cool breeze. Even though it's forecast to get to 30 degrees this afternoon. This morning is absolutely gorgeous. So where these two panels meet, you can see there's a potential for the wind to get in and it to blow off. Right, we've got this distance. So I'm just going to put an extra one in here and just put a pot rivet just in the edge, just to pull it all together and keep this edge nice and strong and nice and tight. This is probably overkill if I'm honest, but for peace of mind and a little bit of work. So there you go. So now these end panels are completely fastened together. Got it. So I'm putting extra pot rivets on the overhang. There's nothing to screw to. So it's just a way just keeping everything nice and tight and making it last for an awful long time. So that's it for this week's video. I'm just going to finish off doing a few more pot rivets, put a few more screws in the roof, and I think it's a good job well done. It should give us an awful long service life now with the shed. This stuff seems pretty robust, and hopefully it'll last the 10 years that it's guaranteed for. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.